First up tonight is British writer and broadcaster Esther Krakue. Hi Esther, welcome to the Royal Report.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Our absolute pleasure. Now look, we know big plans are in train for the three-day coronation celebration. We understand the Sussexes have been invited, but it hasn't been confirmed whether they'll attend. And it also appears that Harry, as the Duke of Sussex, has been written out of part of the formal coronation proceedings. Is that the case, and can you run us through that?
So, thank you. So nothing has been confirmed at the moment as to whether he's been written out. I think that is highly likely, even if he does attend again, which is also highly unlikely. He will definitely play a very minor role. It's really interesting, the reports we've been hearing about, writing him out of the sort of the royal saga entirely. Historians have established that back in the day when the line of succession was secured, so the heir and then the children of the heir were secured, usually the brother, also the spare technically of the heir, was effectively written out of kind of royal duties under the royal family. They lost their titles and all of that, and that was a formality. And they're discussing that now, not just given Prince Harry's treacherous book, but just clearly their unhappiness with being in the royal family and with the institution in general. So that is actually an interesting discussion that's happening in parallel. But with regards to them attending the coronation, one, it would be very awkward because it's around Archie's birthday. It's highly unlikely they will even attend, but if they do, the media furore around it will probably overshadow the actual coronation ceremony, which would be another unfortunate sort of side effect of them coming.
Yeah, that absolutely would be. But we also understand there are reports that the King Charles is lobbying the Archbishop of Canterbury to broker some sort of deal to include Prince Harry in the Westminster Abbey ceremony. Now, look, this is all turning out to be more perilous than organising the seating plan at an Italian wedding, Esther. So how does the family deal with this? What is evidently a trust deficit? How do they ensure that everyone is included in the celebration now, but without creating ammunition for some public spat later?
I mean, well, it's clear that the royal family strategy is to take the high road in every way, shape and form. So even, asking the Archbishop of Canterbury to try and include the Sussexes into the coronation ceremony is another way of the royal family showing they're really kind of extending an olive branch, regardless of all the mudslinging that's been done by the Sussexes, primarily Harry as well. To us, it looks weird. Why would you want to invite and include your son that has done everything to tarnish the reputation of you yourself personally and the royal family at large? But the strategy is quite clear. They're taking the high road as they should. And, in doing this, their popularity with the public, particularly the British public, keeps rising whilst the Sussexes keeps dropping, which is not surprising in any way.
Now, let's get on to that. Look, it's been 3 torturous weeks since Prince Harry's memoir Spare was released, and I'm sure you're really quite over talking about it. But in the aftermath, it appears that the Sussexes have taken a knock in the popularity stakes. What are the polls saying about the royals, and do you think that things could have been different if they'd had better advice and maybe strategy around the book?
So, at the moment, the Sussexes are the second and third least popular members of the royal family. I think no one can top Prince Andrew, understandably, but Harry and Meghan are quite easily, aside from Prince Andrew, the most unpopular members of the royal family. I do think that they could have avoided this entirely by just being a lot more clever about how they went about things. I don't think writing a tell-all book that is so grotesque in all of its sort of revelations that for some reason the public now knows that Prince Harry and Prince William are circumcised is any good way to go about things. But it's just, the finer details sort of insinuating that the royal family are racist because someone showed concern about how dark Archie's skin colour would be without actually naming the person, and then allowing rumours to proliferate for over 2 years, speculating and tarnishing the royal family as just an institution of racists. Again, that doesn't go well with the British public, knowing that the British public wouldn't tolerate a racist royal family, for instance. But there are so many things, the constant complaining and the whinging, it's very out of touch. And, even parts of the book that detailed his kill count in Afghanistan, for instance, that's clearly just someone not being advised well how to sort of deal with any sort of media in any way, shape, or form, or the repercussions of exposing such details. So I don't think it's just a matter of kind of better advice with the minute details. I think the overall strategy was very, very off.